to the All Things Good channel and to this week's video. How are you? And good morning from Mila today, it would seem as well. She's following me around like a lost lamb today. I don't know what's going on, but I hope you're all doing really well and had a very good week. And are we into summer? It certainly feels like it, doesn't it? Especially over the last few days. And I think for the next few days, certainly here where I live, I think we're going to have good weather for a good week or so. So that is brilliant. I have been super busy this week. As you know, Paul, aka the Invisible Chef, is moving in here this time next week. So I've been going backwards and forwards there. And when I have been there, I've been bringing things back and finding homes for them. And there's a lot going on. There's lots of jobs. And all in all, it's been a very busy week. I did go for my MRI scan last Friday. And I've been busy in the garden rectifying the issue I had last week. And if you watched last week's video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And in Moment on the Bed this week, well, it's a very chatty one. I've got lots and lots to query with you and lots to tell you. So let's get into this week's video. I hope you enjoy it. Good morning, it's Tuesday, which means it's a day off from work for me, but I seem to have a long list of things I need to get done today. I'm just gonna make my coffee, hang on. I can't do anything until I've had, actually this is my second cup of coffee this morning, but this is the one that will really wake me up, hopefully. Anyway, let's just get this coffee underway. So, last week I made the mistake with the paint for the garden decking, and I had found the right product initially, but then when I went back to purchase it, I'd clicked on the right colour but on the wrong sort of paint. And I know that most of you were screaming at the video going, "No, Polly, that's fence paint." No wonder it wouldn't stick. So I went back and reordered the right thing, which is here. So here it is, look, decking paint. The same colour, warm stone. So I'm going from blue to this. And I have already opened it, as you can see, given it a stir, did a little test, and it's perfect. So, I'm gonna get it right this time. But when can I do it? That is the question. Because I am literally setting my watch to the weather at the moment, which has been horrific, quite frankly. Tremendous amount of rain, still getting thunderstorms every now and then. But I've never known, well, I can't remember a June like this. So I'm dodging the showers, but it looks like today, tomorrow and Thursday, in fact, most of this week, whilst it'll be cloudy, it should be dry. Now this paint dries, touch dry and waterproof or splash proof within 90 minutes. And then it's usable within 48 hours. So you can put your furniture back on and stuff after 48 hours. So if I can get a clear run, I'm trying to remember how long it took me to do the decking last time, but I do remember when I painted it blue, it was a very, very hot day. In fact, it was about 40 degrees and I started at 7:30 in the morning. And I'd got 4 coats on by 10 o'clock and it was bone dry. That is not going to happen on this occasion. So I've got to time it right. And as I say, I'm quite busy today. I'm taking Nancy out as normal this morning. She's got to then get home quite quickly because she's got an appointment with a lady in her home. I'm going to have my nails done. Then I will be back. But there's been such a lot to do with Paul moving in, which is only a couple of weeks away. And so I've been at his and I've already brought some things back here. He's done a tremendous amount of sorting out at his house. Built a wardrobe in the bedroom, which I will show you. Put some of his things in already. So I'm going over there every now and then. I've got to go over again tomorrow after work actually. And then I'm bringing stuff back with me every time. But I'm also then sorting out here, making a bit of room for him, doing a bit of a declutter myself, which was long overdue anyway. Not masses, but just enough that there's some drawer space and things like that. And actually I have got rid of quite a lot of stuff that was broken or useless or whatever. And I think it's good sometimes to have a bit of a declutter, isn't it, anyway, for any reason. So I've been busy doing that. So it's kind of fitting it all in, but I'm not going to stress about it because the decking isn't going anywhere and it will get done when it gets done. But if I could get 1 or 2 coats on, it might only need 2 coats, but if I could do that this week, I'd be very happy with that productivity for this week. If I could get 1 coat on later today, if it stays dry, because the nice thing about the summer evenings is it's still light, isn't it, till nearly 10 o'clock. So even if I don't do a coat until about 4 o'clock this afternoon, I could at least get 1 done today and then perhaps carry on Thursday. So I'm not going to stress about it, but I would like it done and looking nice and refreshed, so that, well, for everybody's benefit, but I just also want to have it done ready for Paul moving in, because I want him to come in to his new home with it looking and feeling clean and fresh and what have you. And there's not much to do in the house because I'm quite on top of the housework. Having said that, talking of paint and houses, this house I got painted when I moved in. So actually the walls in this house haven't been painted for 4.5 years. And I have noticed a bit going up the stairs, there's a few marks and nicks and what have you, and the balusters, they need doing. So, but again, it's probably a job for this year, but not just yet. One thing at a time. We've got to get Paul moved in. I want to get the garden looking great, which he's doing most of anyway, to be fair. I was going to mow it yesterday, but the grass was too wet, and he said, no, leave it, I shall do it, because he's popping over on Monday. So yeah, that's going to be his little baby, probably, the garden eventually. But I do want to do decking. I ain't doing anything at all until I've had this coffee. Sure, there's something else I've got to do. So here is said new wardrobe, which has gone quite well in the corner of the bedroom between the bed and the ensuite bathroom. This was from Amazon. It came flat packed, which we have to have in this house because it's 3 stories. You wouldn't be able to get a wardrobe up the stairs and round the corners. Paul built this. It didn't take too long. I gave him a little bit of a hand. It is probably a 2-man job to put this together. Didn't take long at all, and it was very reasonably priced. I also purchased these little silicone protector corners of Amazon as well. I shall link all of this down below for you, because we can't fully open the ensuite bathroom door. We can open it wide enough, which is fine, and this just protects the door from getting bashed by the corner of the wardrobe. But very happy with the way that fits in. You can see we can open the door pretty wide. It's absolutely fine, and there's already some things inside. So here's what I'm working with, folks. So this was painted just over 2 years ago, and the paint has come off in lots of places, looking pretty grubby. So let's get this decking fixed. So in the end, I actually did 3 layers of paint just to keep it going for another few years, hopefully. And then I put my original furniture back onto the decking, but I had cleaned it all down as well. I'm not sure about this furniture colour now with the new decking colour, but But the Invisible Chef, aka Paul, who's moving in very shortly, also has some garden furniture that may go here instead, not decided yet. So I've had a couple of plays about with how I think it might look or how it can look for the time being. But I'm really happy with the paint. It's the perfect colour, just what I wanted. It was only today in my life that I found out this hack. You know these microwavable packets of rice that you can get that are forever falling over in the microwave and you have to clean it all out all the time? Look what I discovered. These little flaps at the bottom of the bag, you actually pull open and it creates a little stand for the bags to be placed in your microwave. Well, I honestly did not know that till today. Brilliant. Life-changing. So here we are having our moment on the bed. Already? I know. This week's vlog wasn't really that long, was it? So apologies for that. But I have been incredibly busy doing things that I either couldn't or I didn't vlog. And the garden and the decking has taken up quite a lot of time. So anyway, there's so much going on. So much going on. Firstly, haven't we just got the weather? How blessed are we? And this coming week, it's going to peak. Tuesday, Wednesday, it's going to be very, very hot. So for those of you that don't like it, I'm very sorry about that. And for those of you that do like it, embrace. It's going to be lovely. In fact, I think it's probably going to be lovely for about a week or so. So I am enjoying seeing the sunshine. I don't like it particularly when I'm at work, but it is nice to get home and still have a bit of light, bright sunshine in the evenings, so I can get in the garden. And the garden is very much an ongoing project still. There's still a bit more colour and a few more plants I'd like to put in, but it's certainly coming to life now and it's looking much better, and much better since I've painted the decking. So I'm super pleased I've got that in ready. I have been busy in the house in preparation for Paul moving in, which is next weekend, next Sunday, all being well. And we're all looking forward to that, very much so. But it is very, very busy at the moment because he's still over at his rented house doing a lot of sorting out and decluttering. And then I'm flying over there and I'm filling my car up and bringing it over here, so that on his actual moving day, which will be the Sunday, he is hiring a van, but he'll only need to bring sort of much bigger items in the van, and there's not too many of those. So I'm bringing things over like books and DVDs, and already got some clothes in the new wardrobe. So we're getting there. We are getting there, but it's obviously a huge period of change for us both. Obviously, neither of us it is our first rodeo. But I think, you know, we're very happy together and we are very much looking forward to this up and coming journey together. But Paul is going through so much at the moment. He's just starting a new job. Obviously he's moving house to here. There's so much going on. It's very, very full on. And Nancy is absent this week again as well. I know she's okay. She's doing okay. I haven't really done anything with her that's worth vlogging particularly. She is struggling a little bit with her mobility. Well, she's struggling quite a lot with her mobility, to be honest with you. So I can't film too much when we're out because I'm either dealing with her and her walker, or her and her shopping trolley, and having my own belongings and camera in hand and all those kind of things. The logistics of it aren't great, so I need to sort of perhaps try and film her a little bit in her own home a little bit more. But she's doing very well, and it is her birthday on this coming Saturday, the 29th of June. A few of you have already sent me lovely emails to pass on to her, but if you would like to wish her a happy birthday, you're very welcome to drop me an email in the email address listed in the description box down below, and I will indeed print them off and give them to her on her birthday. So it's going to be a very busy weekend next weekend because we've got birthday moving in. So we're going to do a lunch for her on Saturday. I'm going to take her out for a meal on Sunday. And in terms of gifts, it was very difficult to decide what to do because, and many of you made lovely suggestions, take her out for afternoon tea or take her to the nail salon and things like that. But honestly, there's none of those things are doable with her at present because she can't be out for too long. And she's not very keen on afternoon tea, she tells me. She'd rather go out for a meal, a proper evening meal. So we're going to do that on Sunday. And in terms of presents, what do you buy the woman that has everything? And she also said that, well, quite frankly, she said, I don't want to celebrate my birthday. Nobody's to know how old I am. Everybody knows how old you are, Mum, because it's blooming marvellous, or bloody marvellous, as she would say. She'll be 94, if you didn't know already, on Saturday. So she is still quite incredible. So she's told me, in no uncertain terms, what she wants from me is a big bunch of flowers and a meal. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll probably try and find something a little extra to go in there at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, got to go shopping this week for that. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about weight, which is something I brought up a few weeks ago. And I said to you how I wasn't very happy that I'd put on a bit of weight. Well, I got rid of my bathroom scales some time ago, probably 12 months or so ago, when they broke. I didn't bother to replace them until this week, when in Morrison's I found some digital bathroom scales reduced to £8 from £17.99. So I thought, I'll replenish my old scales. I will buy some new ones. And I would be interested to know what I weigh, because I've definitely put some weight on. So in my head, I thought I'd possibly put on between a stone and a stone and a half, maybe 2 stone maximum in my weight gain journey over the past 2 years. Well, to say I was flabbergasted when I stood on the scales was an understatement. I actually had to get off the scales, get on them again, and then I decided to take the scales to a different room in case the floor wasn't level and the scales were definitely going to be wrong. But no, the scales were not wrong. And I am 3 stone heavier than I was 2 years ago. So it's no surprise that nothing fits very well. No surprise at all. And it has shocked me. Really shocked me. But as this week has gone on, and just to backtrack slightly, actually, for the past couple of weeks, and in fact, since I last talked about weight gain, I have actually I can't get my words out today. I have actually been quite good. I've been very good. Going back to having my smoothies at lunchtime. I'm not eating as much chocolate as I was before, making changes, healthy changes. And I think being the summer, the good weather, not having so many heavy, homely cooked meals, perhaps there's quite a lot of salads going in there and this, that and the other, but not drastic changes, healthy changes, just healthy alternatives really. But this week, as the week has gone on, I've had to think about things and I thought, well, actually, if you look at the last 2 years and the things that I've spoken about here on the channel, you've got to include menopause, going on antidepressants, being in love and content as opposed to anxious, unhappy and traumatized. And there's a few things in there that would quite naturally, I think, make you gain weight. The one in particular, I do believe, is the antidepressant. Now, I'm feeling really well, very, very well. And I'm very pleased I took the decision to go on the antidepressants because they were mainly for menopausal symptoms and anxiety. And I think the anxiety is possibly hormonal stroke menopausal related, although I have had anxiety in the past before. But it was certainly getting quite heightened. And this particular antidepressant, fluoxetine is what I'm on, which is another name for Prozac, I have definitely felt the benefits of it. I don't want those benefits to stop, but I'm feeling really well. And equally, I don't feel as if I want to be on antidepressants. Well, I certainly don't want to be on them forever. I don't want to be on them for too long. I've been on this type of antidepressant before some years ago. I was on it for 2 years, came off it and was then absolutely fine. So I've been on this since about October time, I think it was, September, October last year. And I'm significantly better. There's obviously a lot going on in life. I'm very, very busy. And, you know, looking after Nancy, aka Mom, is part of my I was going to say it's part of my anxiety, and that's not really fair, and I don't mean that in the way it was probably going to sound. It's just that I worry so much about her, and that worry before I had the antidepressants, that anxiety was, oh, what if this happens today? What if that happens today? And what if this happens in the future? And it was trying to sort of calm that all down to just help me be in the moment and be present and just deal with what comes today. But I'm really not happy with the weight gain, and I'm feeling uncomfortable, and I just don't like it. And especially now we're going into the summer and I want to wear some lighter clothes. A lot of them aren't fitting me, but I just feel, do you know, I've just seen a man standing in, I can just see the back of someone's back garden here from my bedroom window, and there's a man standing in his back door window dressed as Worle Gumbage. Do you remember Worle Gumbage? Why is he dressed as, it must be going to a fancy dress party. It looks great. Either that or he's very strange. Anyway, if you don't know what Worle Gumbage is, Google it, but don't Google the recent Worle Gumbage. Worle Gumbage from the 1970s. That's what that man's dressed as. Anyway, I digress completely. Yeah, that anxiety has gone, and I am concerned about my weight gain. I don't want to put any more on. So I have started thinking about slowly withdrawing myself off the fluoxetine to see what happens, because, well, my theory is that if that doesn't go well and I start to have all those anxious symptoms, menopausal symptoms again, which the menopausal symptoms I would imagine, yes, I would have again. But if it's dealt with the anxiety to a level that I can now handle and deal with, should I start withdrawing myself slowly? And to begin doing that, I would go from having the 1 tablet a day that I have now to 1 every other day for a week, and then 1 every 3 days for the next week, 1 every 4 days for the next week, and do it over a course of about 4 to 6 weeks to come off them, and hope that a bit of weight loss comes off as well. And I know some of you are probably going to shout at the screen now and go, no, Polly, you look fine. Don't worry about your weight. It's more important to be under control with everything. And I agree. And I'm a bit torn as to what to do. And yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a very tricky one. So I'd be very, very grateful for any observations or comments you've got on that. But I'm going to give it another week to make my decision, and then have a good old think about it and perhaps have a go, because I'm pretty sure the antidepressants have got a lot to do with the weight gain. And as I say, I'm uncomfortable, and I think you've got to, it doesn't matter what you look like, and it certainly doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, but I think it's how you feel, isn't it? And how you want to feel, and trying to work out how to go about that. And having been really, really good for the last couple of 3 weeks with food and what have you, and it's not made any difference, that's unlike me. So normally once I start eating really healthy and get into a really good routine, I can lose weight pretty quickly. But again, you've got age involved, you've got menopause involved, but you've got the antidepressant involved, and I think that's the blockage. I think it is anyway, but we'll see. I'll have a think about it. Haven't had my MRI scan results yet. Went for my MRI last Friday and I was in that machine for over an hour. It was fine, absolutely fine, but I was rather uncomfortable when I came out, and it put me in a couple of different positions, and I am still uncomfortable with my lower back and my leg and hip pain. So it's just a case of waiting and seeing what the MRI results are. But having now realised this week that I've gained 3 stone, it's no surprise to me that my back has got worse and is hurting, because it's carrying that extra weight. And that's another reason why I'd really like to lose the weight, because if these MRI results come back that nothing much has changed in my back over the course of the past 3 years, and I'm having just a very bad bout of sciatica or something, then I know for sure it's the extra weight that's causing the problem, and that's a definitive reason for me to lose weight. If it comes back as something else, we'll deal with it, but at the moment I have had no results, and it was over a week ago now. So I suppose the good news in that is that there shouldn't be anything sinister going on, because I think I probably would have heard by now, but I did say it would be about 2 weeks for the results. So hanging on for dear life for those. And that's it really for this week. So sorry there was not much content, but yeah, it's full on, very, very full on. And next week will be a bit of a jumble probably as well, but the week after I'll be able to show you Paul moving in, Mum's birthdays, quite a few bits and pieces going on. Oh, my son Adam's coming back this week as well, just for a few days for Granny's birthday. But he's living it up in Italy at the moment. I think he's in Pompeii today. He's having a well-earned holiday with his girlfriend, having finished his uni studies. But he's only coming home for a little trip, as I say, just for Granny's birthday. Then he's back down to Devon and finally comes home at the end of July. So that'll be another house guest, as it were, for want of a much better phrase. Not house guest, is he? He's my son. But yeah, house will be full by the end of July. So that's going to be very interesting. So anyway, I will leave you to enjoy the rest of your weekend and enjoy this lovely weather that we are finally having. And until next Sunday, stay safe, stay in the boat, and keep doing all things good. And I'll see you next week. Thank you for joining me. Take care. Bye.